when you get this thing set right with the mixture and stuff, it runs really smooth. Now, like I said, for taxiing, the fuel is going to be at about position 2, and I can actually it almost works like a throttle just by using the air level. Of course, at the back end it's a little rich, but it still runs good, but you can actually push it up. If you go too far, you'll kind of get a lean cut. And we'll do a run up here. I'll run it up for or warm it up for about 3 to 5 minutes. And once the cylinders are warm, I'll get the guys to hold the tail in the back. I'll go ahead and run up the engine, and it appears that kind of full throttle for takeoff. The fuel lever is at about in the 3.5 position, and the air lever is full forward. So from there, I just have to Mickey Mouse. If I'm flying and you hear the engine go bub 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 bub, it's probably running too rich. At which case, I'll move the fuel lever back a little bit. But and if you get it back too lean, then it just quits. Which actually sounds bad, but you actually have to use that. If you're at a high altitude and you want to descend, the worst thing you can do would be to shut the mags off, leave the fuel and the castor oil running, because first of all, you're filling the engine up with fuel, you're fouling the spark plugs with the castor oil, so you always want to keep those spark plugs running. So we generally leave the mags on all the way. If you were at a high altitude and you wanted to descend quickly, you would just shut the fuel lever off, shut the fuel off. The engine's going to keep spinning, the spark plugs are going to keep firing, and once you got down to an altitude where you wanted to continue flying, then what you would do is just push the fuel lever forward, engine would start, and off you'd go. So they're up there priming each individual cylinder by squirting fuel into the intake valve, which is an open intake valve, which is directly into the cylinder. We're trying to get the spark plugs wet.
Ready when you are.
Okay, so the mixed air lever is set, switches are both hot, and I'm ready on the fuel. Contact. You want it still hot?
Still hot.
Okay, switches are still hot. we fixed the airspeed. Didn't fix the wire, so let's spin it around. We'll put a javelin on it. It is buzzing pretty loud. Yeah, I'll run over in the wood shop and find something. Yeah, we'll put a javelin there. I'm assuming it's these inboard wires, but man, is it buzzing. All right, so okay. Yeah, now let's see all the castor oil down there. I feel like I have to whiten my shoes to get out of the airplane. Let's see if we can stop this wire from buzzing. Since we got all the tie wraps and I went over and grabbed a piece of wood out of the wood shop, so let's put this on and rock and roll. Paul, you got somebody who's got tie wraps? Wayne, you got the tie wrap? Okay, cool. All right, let's see. So I'm figuring if we just tighten these things down here, that looks about good to me. Is that about the same length? I want to make sure that I'm same length on both sides. We're going to split the difference there. See if that'll work. That'll work. That looks about right. Okay, I'll get started on this side. You get started on the other side. We'll put the point in the back. I'd hate to skewer a bird while I'm flying. Yeah, just put one on the other side too. Oh, actually, we can get them both here. Now what this will do is either solve the problem in a way that it keeps the wire from shaking, or it's going to make it worse, and all it's going to do is increase the frequency and the note on the violin string right here. So I'm hoping this will work. Yeah, keep on, just let you clip those. I'll go get the other side. The other thing we need to worry about here is when we start it, the castor oil gets on the ground, and then all of a sudden when you walk in it, your feet get messed up. And the other day, see all this shiny grass right here? Paul tried to start it again, slipped and fell on his butt. That looks pretty good. Okay. Thank you much. Oops, sorry. Okay, hopefully this puppy is cool enough that it'll start again.